Hello, John Soriano again. And first and foremost, I'd like to wish everybody a very happy new year, even though it's a few days late. At the time of this recording, it is New Year 2013, a few days after New Year's, actually. Um, but I was on vacay, so that's good. Um, Plus, the timing of this actually is pretty good because, and it doesn't matter what year you actually see this, it's going to be pretty much the same. And here's what I'm going to look to talk about. It's the 6th, 5th. Today's the 5th. All right. So, those of you who have made New Year's resolutions, it's been 5 days. Okay. And I bet you there's a small number at least, probably a bigger number, but let's be conservative, a small number who've already fell regarding their resolution. Now, I wanted to do this message because it's a very important reminder. All right. If you have set resolutions in the past and have fallen short of achieving said resolutions, there's a reason. It's a very simple reason, but there's a reason. And I actually alluded to it in an earlier video regarding self image. Self image is your thermostat, it's your inner emotional, mental thermostat. Okay? You can't achieve something if your thermostat's not set for it. All right? Just like an air conditioner in the house. If you want it to be cool, you need to adjust the thermostat. If you want it to get hot, you want it to be on fire, you got to adjust the thermostat. You can't leave it on 60 if you want it to be 80 in the house. It just won't work that way. Well, this all works the same way. If you don't work on the self image, that's going to keep you where you're at. Okay? Very important to keep this in mind. It's core simplicity 101, but it is the essential in my opinion to moving forward, whether it's with your New Year's resolutions or any goal for that matter, anything that's going to stretch you to grow and evolve, whether it's work related or spiritually or anything. You have to readjust your inner thermostat, namely your self image. So, as you're going about setting your plans to meet and implement your New Year's resolutions, whether it's to lose weight, quit smoking, those are the two most popular ones, um, start a new business, grow your business, anything, keep in mind that unless you change the self image, which is, again, I alluded to this also in an earlier video, what is the self image? It's an amalgam, it's a collection of all your predominant thoughts about yourself. Now, we do have them in different areas, but we have an overarching one that's the sum total of all the thoughts and beliefs you have about yourself. So, if you have a low self image and you want to lose weight, for example, there is a disconnect there. For whatever reasons you've gained the weight in the first place, and we're not talking physiology or organic issues here, okay? We're talking about overeating that you can control, okay? Organic things like overactive glands or thyroid issues, things like that, that's a whole other beast. But in terms of the parts that you can't control, the emotional overeating and such, there's reasons why you're doing that are directly tied to your self image. Okay? And remember ultimately that your self image is your identity, it's who you think you are. So if your identity is, I am an overweight person, or I am a smoker, or I am a failure, I've tried many different businesses or what have you before and I failed all the time. Those I am statements, those are identity statements. Those are your right through the filter of your self image. So if I am an overweight person, if that's your self image, you will not lose weight long term. I hate to depress you, but you won't because you're going to be fighting against the thermostat. So you might hit the gym. Maybe you've already enrolled in a gym if you haven't been in one. You did your first grocery shopping of the new year, and you got all fruits and veggies and nuts and all kinds of good stuff, and that'll last for a while, maybe a month or two at the most, give or take. But then it's going to kick out. You're going to binge. You're going to start eating the junk food. You're going to say, well, this little bit of pizza won't hurt me. And before you know it, you're putting down half a pie because you haven't adjusted the thermostat. You haven't changed it. Self image work is crucial. Okay. I am an overweight person. If that is your belief deep down, and only you would know this for sure, but when you talk to the person in the mirror, okay, be real about this. Okay, no one's hearing it but you. If that's what you really think, you need to clear that. Okay, and it'd be a lie as well, by the way. All low self-image and all that contributes to it is a lie about you. I hope you know that, and I've said that in other videos too. You're not an overweight person. You're not a smoker. You're not a failure. Okay, these are things that you've accepted about yourself, but they're lies. Okay, you can achieve whatever you wish. You have no limits other than those imposed upon yourself. You need to keep that in mind. So, as you go about your business, as you go about setting off on your New Year's resolutions, remember to adjust the thermostat. And there's a whole bunch of ways to do that. Um, the tools that I use, whether it's EFT or Z Point or neurolinguistic programming or even essential oils or Reiki, all of these have their place. All of these have their benefits, strengths and weaknesses, depending on what you're working on in particular. But I urge you to look into them. Definitely check out my site and find out some more about them. But also understand that you need to do something to make sure that your identity, is in alignment with what you look to accomplish. Okay? You have to be it before you can have it and before you can do it. Okay? You have to throw the wood into the fireplace in order to get the fire. You can't expect the fire to come first. Okay? So there are certain things, and laws of the universe being what they are, there are certain things that have to happen before other things happen. So you must adjust your mental thermostat. You must work on the self-image. I'm hesitant to use the word improve your self-image, but I guess I will in lieu of a better term. But in actuality, what we're doing here is the true self-image is already there. What we're doing is chopping away the false ideas that you have about yourself, the negative ones. It's kind of like a sculpture. You get this block of marble, and you start chipping at it, and you start, sculpting with it. But what you're doing is you're not adding on, you're taking away until you chisel out this form that you've had in your mind. Well, it kind of works the same way. We have to chip away we have to clear those false beliefs and false ideas you have about yourself that have created this low self-image. Okay, and we have to shake it. Now, it takes persistence, I can tell you, because at the identity level, things are stuck. Because the main secondary gain or payoff is, well, let me rephrase that. It's not a payoff directly, it's an indirect payoff. Namely, the question that the consciousness will ask, well, who am I if I'm not this? For example, I've been a smoker for 20 years. I'm not, by the way. But if you are, I've been a smoker for 20 years. So a big piece of the resistance of taking that away is, well, who am I without being a smoker? You see? So all these dynamics come into play. But if you remember nothing else from this video, remember two things. Number one, adjust your thermostat. You have to work on the self-image. If you have done this and failed before, more than likely, if you don't change the way you're thinking about yourself, if you don't change the negative self-image, you're going to fail again. And I hate to be so negative about it, but it is what it is. So that's number one. Number two, research and find the tools. Get in touch with me if you want some help through this. That will help you. Okay, EFT is great for clearing specifics. If you want to work more globally, I think Z Point would be a better option. NLP, neuro linguistic programming. How do you speak to yourself? How are you communicating to yourself about your past experiences? Changing that is quantum leaps in changing how you perceive things. Reiki is also good for regulating the energy. Essential oils raise vibration. They do a lot of good for emotional work. And if you want to know about specifics, again, get in touch with me via my website, www.speed2freedom.com. That's speed, the number two, freedom.com. And there's some information there. And feel free to get in touch with me to talk about specifics or to even coach you through some. If you're really serious about hitting these New Year's resolutions and adjusting the self image to be in complete congruence with the new you. So I wish you most blessings and abundance and success in this coming new year, whether it's 2013 or whenever it is you view this video, and the best to you. We'll talk again soon. See you then.